Now, what I've been trying to do is screen capture, which I can't, and talk at the same time with a picture. Very annoying. And now we're just trying on Ash's computer, and she's having trouble. She can capture with sound and can't on the screen capture, on the
smart screen.
On the smart screen. The other Dell computer I've got, it converts it to a strange file and takes a bit of fooling around to get it open. So what I was talking about was how America, you don't have to go to arms for a civil war. You don't need weapons. The greatest weapon you've got is in your backyard, and that is to not deal ever again with the corporate world. They're out of business. They're all Jews. Paid for by your money that they've printed, which they pay back to themselves after printing the money out of nothing. And therefore, when they need money, they just buy a company, and that's it. It's all fraudulently taken. Well, so tell them what you own, they take from you. Alright, so we got one politician in America who stood up and condemned every word I've said about the Jews and supporting Israel and so forth. The churches are all condemned, of course, because they know I'm here and not even discussing it amongst themselves, but they're all Freemason Bibles. So they're out of business. Don't throw it out, of course, keep it. I'll give you some amendments now. The fracking, if any of you farmers out there have put in septic tanks, you know the septic field you put out for the sewage. What you do is you put the same field out all over your property. Run the pipes back to a central point, and all that gas is coming up through there to protect your house from blowing up. And you do this declared under martial law, and the kingdom of God has come to the earth, and they hang a sign on your gate, Brian Leonard Marshall, kingdom of God. That's your paradise, sport. So you then collect the gas, and you can then generate electricity from it by an old car, an old truck. You take the gas mixture and place it straight into the carburetor and set it at 2,000 revs, and you've got power coming off your axle, or you've got power coming off the generators or the alternators that you can get specially made and installed in a big array at the front of the vehicle with the top off. And then take that electricity and put it into the 2 or 3 welding outlets you've got and sell it back to the grid. Now, if everyone in the fracking areas of America do that, you'll have your own source of income, and you're producing electricity for the good of the nation, because you're bleeding off the gas, and the corporations are out of business. They no longer count. So if one comes onto your site, well, just shoot him, no problem. You get a freebie. And this is civil war God's way. Okay, so let's get this straight. My father drove an old truck, had solid rubber tyres, delivering wool to the wars for the war effort. And he was in a protected industry, so he couldn't go away. Therefore, that got me in. Conceived. However, they had no fuel, and they used to put a big bag on the back of the truck and then trundle around at 5-10 miles per hour hauling wool using natural gas. So I think they put a huge bag, fill it at before they left for the day, and then a weight was put on top, and that forced the gas out of this balloon into the carburetor system, where it was regulated rather cleverly. But in those days you set the truck at 2,000 revs, 10 miles per hour, and away you go. So they were running for free, getting paid by the government to do it. And there's many stories I learned about the wars in Australia and how it operates. Now, the men there are very powerful. So I had to break them up. Funny as can be. I went to school with a kid, Freddie Perkins. He was a scream, absolute scream. No matter what he did, hilarious. Handsome young fellow. And he moves from Redfern, where he's living, the Curry, to Rose Bay. Seen him once more, he pulled in on his motorbike and said hello, and then off he went. My brother-in-law, he got the best and fairest player for the Navy in Australian rules football. Run like a rabbit. I could hardly keep up with him. And I was a top sprinter. He was 2 inches in front of me, that's where it stayed. So he comes out to the Navy and he joins the Wharves. So he's now a wharfie. I come back from Canada and he says to me, "You've got to come down to Wharves and meet my mate Fred. He's the funniest man in the world." So he's on and on. Finally I did so. And we go down, we're in the pub. There's all the men, they come out, work on the wharves for an hour, go across the pub, get pissed, go back to work again. Lunch break, right over the pub again. And it was just how it was funny. But these men worked efficiently even though they were drunk. Worked slow. So the pub is jammed full of wharfies. And I walk in with my brother-in-law, Ian. And up the end of the bar, everyone's screaming and laughter. And there's Freddie Perkins, my mate I went to school with. Shortly after that, my brother-in-law was at work and he died. And 3 days after, he appeared to my sister in the bedroom. And she said that he still had the stubble that had grown over the 3-day period he'd been away. And he said, "I'm sorry, love, I had to go." And give her a kiss, and that was it. He walked out the room, I was gone. She said she didn't want to see me anymore. That made it a complete slam dunk. Everyone in the family rejected me. So I'm smiling from ear to ear, but it's sad because I wanted to see my sister. So you put in these cheap pipe, put gravel on top, dig it as wide as you like, because you're trying to catch all the gas coming up in your property. So you put plastic in there, make a gas envelope, then the gas then seeps into the draw it into the area where you're going to burn it to produce fuel from your truck or your tractor or your whatever your farmers use. You actually come up with something. Some of you are quite smart in a sort of dumb sort of way. And now that'll generate all electricity in the world for you. You get these magnetic motors now, but you don't really need them. Because you can run your cars on the same gas. In Canada, they were manufacturing, before they got shut down, a pump system which collected the gas, natural gas, and compressed it into a liquid, and then put it into your car. That's like the taxis in the cities run on LPG, liquid petroleum. So you can do that too, and it's clean. But you have no ribs again. Just put these on. There's He's 96 years old, old girl. You look better than that. Jabbing with a prodding umbrella. Up and condemned every word I've said about the Jews and supporting Israel and so forth. The churches are all condemned, of course, because they know I'm here and not even discussing it amongst themselves, but they're all Freemason Bibles. So they're out of business. Don't throw it out, of course, keep it. I'll give you some amendments now. The fracking, now, what I've been trying to do is screen capture, which I can't, and talk at the same time with a picture. Very annoying. And now we're just trying on Ash's computer, and she's having trouble. She can capture with sound and can't on the screen capture, on the
smart screen.
On the smart screen. If any of you farmers out there have put in septic tanks, you know the septic field you put out for the sewage. What you do is you put the same field out all over your property. Run the pipes back to a central point, and all that gas is coming up through there to protect your house from blowing up. And you do this under paid for by your money that they've printed, which they pay back to themselves after printing the money out of nothing. And therefore, when they need money, they just buy a company, and that's it. It's all fraudulently taken. It's a settlement. What you own, they take from you. All right, so we got one politician in America who's stood up. The other Dell computer I've got, it converts it to a strange file and takes a bit of fooling around to get it open. So what I was talking about was how America, you don't have to go to arms for a civil war. You don't need weapons. The greatest weapon you've got is in your backyard. And that is to not deal ever again with the corporate world. They're out of business. They're all Jews.